Right.
Dude, I love Twitter so much.
What happened now?
I fucking this dude, um, he was doing that thing, right, where he's like, oh, I wish they actually showed characters in the MCU financially struggling. Basically the
God
thing of trying to
damn
say
it.
that try that thing of trying to say that like Spider-Man uh, is rich and everything. And I responded. I was like, we literally just had a show months ago show how the Avengers are struggling.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, so what? One or two? I didn't watch the show. And I said, okay, if you didn't watch the show, then don't don't make statements on what is or isn't happening with characters in the MCU if you're not watching the MCU. And he's like, "Oh, sorry that I stopped watching after 10 years of it being mediocre." And look, I don't care if you watched it or not. Just don't talk about what characters go through in the series if you don't even know what they're going through.
Oh my god. I fucking
He's
hate
like,
these
"Oh, it took
people.
me pretty weak. It took them 12 years to address any sort of financial issues." And I was like, they've actually addressed it multiple times. If
Yeah, the
you,
first time they address financial issues is in 2016 with Spider-Man because he's the first character who would ever plausibly have financial issues.
yeah,
Like up to that point, all I you know what? That's not even true. They addressed it with Ant-Man 2015.
yep,
Um okay, well yeah. Yeah, and everyone before that was one of the main four
yeah.
or the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy who also had financial issues
So like,
for what they were.
yeah. So uh, the guy is like, oh, don't you think it's bad that it took him 12 years? And so I was like, if you spent a decade not paying attention to what was going on in the MCU movies, that's really on you. He's like, well, so
Eh,
what? So I can't make criticisms because I don't like these movies? I was like, you can't make criticisms about what's happening in a series where that you do not watch to know what is happening in, unless you want to sound ignorant.
yeah,
And
it'd
then
be
he
like
said
if
something
I'm
about,
just like shitting on, oh man, the Fast and Furious movies are just no good. It's all about the fucking cars and everything, and there's nothing else to it. I don't know. That might be true. I've never seen one,
yeah,
so
same. Um,
I'm not
but
gonna not gonna call
and
them
then
bad.
and
I
then
don't
like
know.
I saw on the notification string he said something about I deserved a gulag for being an MCU fan, so then I just blocked him.
Oh
I
my
was like, all
god,
right,
these
we're done
people are
here.
so stupid. Oh, it's so stupid.
Yeah, you know, I think we could solve the problem of stupid people and overpopulation in one go if we really wanted to,
How's that?
by killing all the stupid people. I thought that was pretty implicit with what I was saying.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be I don't know.
No, it's very simple. I meant that stupid people.
It's like no, this was much more straightforward than you were thinking. We need to take
you,
action.
I think you were assuming I was being a better person than I really was.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna be like you know, we should have just never reopened anything. We should have left everything open and just sent everyone home during the pandemic, and we could have wiped out a whole bunch of stupid people. Was what I
I
thought
mean,
you were gonna go with.
it's the same thing. It's let's let all the stupid people die.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's what we're doing right now.
That's true.
It's only unvaccinated. It's like 1 in a million for vaccinated people,
I
and
hope
for
that guy next.
yeah, and for unvaccinated people, there's still thousands of them going down every week.
Yeah, I like I had the thought the other day. I was like, I am a little bit depressed that there's so many rich like Republican leaning people because
God,
you
I hate
would
it.
be if you're benefiting from the system, right?
Yeah,
So
it's like
like
I've said before that that there actually is a group, because people always say that Republican interests don't help anyone. That's not true. There is exactly one group it does, and
The rich.
it's rich white people with no children.
Yep.
If
So
you're in that boat, you are genuinely better off voting Republican, and I'm not going to tell you that you're not. I'm going to tell
I
you
am
you're an
gonna
asshole, but I'm not going to tell you that you're not better off voting for that.
but like I had the thought where I was like, man, it does suck that there's a bunch of Republicans that have so much money that they can afford medical treatment when they do inevitably get COVID. But then
Yep.
I was brightened up because I was like, wait a minute, but even if they survive and even if they don't have like long-term physical damage, it is they are still having to use the American healthcare system. It is still going to cost them a fuck ton of money, and
Yep.
maybe it'll bring them down to a point where they might actually have to become Democrats because they'll not have money now.
Well, you do tend to see, I mean, not for absurdly rich, multimillionaires and billionaires and shit. They don't give a shit, but you do see for like exceptionally rich people, exceptionally wealthy people, like your income is 300K or 400K or something. That those people do tend to be conservative more often than not, if you're ignoring other factors like education rates, which, but that when someone like that gets like cancer or something, suddenly their entire political views get rearranged, and
Yeah,
it's like instantaneous. If you're wealthy but not absurdly rich, a sufficiently bad diagnosis will completely change your political views, and that's sad.
yeah. I'm not meaning this to sound, fucking bigoted or whatever. I know you're Christian, so I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like a lot of that is because a lot of them are Christian, and so suddenly
Yeah.
morality is a big deal to them. Because I've noticed for people who believe in a moralistic afterlife, heaven and hell,
Right.
when they suddenly feel like their time is coming, soon,
Yeah. Now
they
you got to
start
make it right.
going, yeah, they got to earn good points. And I think it's pretty fucked up that a religion that was initially like, hey, we should be good people, was, hey, we shouldn't be good people for the sake of like being good people. We should earn points to
Yeah.
get into heaven. As long as I do more good things than bad, like even if I do 100 good things on the day I'm about to die, then it still
I
counts.
mean, it's even worse. That. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm bad with names on the Discord. Was it Riley who was
Yeah.
arguing with some? Yeah. Um. That Christian dude nailed it right on the head with what true biblical. It taking the Bible as infallible. You will believe that it literally doesn't matter as long as you feel bad about it and apologize to Jesus. You can do shitty things every day until you die, and most diehard, infallible biblical Christians believe that if I just, submit to that I have sinned and apologize for it, I'll be fine.
Which is so fucking like I remember realizing as a kid, I was like, wait a minute, so it doesn't matter if you, because again, I
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
doesn't
if you know,
fucking matter.
I was raised United Methodist, right? Like it's not
Okay,
that I'm ignorant on Christianity. I was a Christian.
right.
It's like I remember going to church and being autistic, I tended to break things down very logically, and that upset people. It especially upset people in church. And so,
Yeah.
because like I would go up for like children's time where they would have all the little kids come up to the front, and I remember one time the pastor said, um, like about how even if you do something wrong, as long as you ask Jesus for forgiveness, you'll always be okay to go to heaven. And so I was like, so does that mean that people can just keep doing bad things forever and just, asking for forgiveness, and it doesn't matter how bad they are, they'll still get in?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he was like, he said some flowery stuff to make it sound like he had an answer, but he really didn't.
Nah. Yeah, I was raised Episcopalian, and the way it's best put is that there's three pillars of Episcopalianism, and it was the Book of Prayer, the Word of God, and the Book of Common Sense, which is that you gotta realize some of this shit isn't literally true. These are parables. Be good, be kind, respect other people. It's like, and it's that kind of thing, that it's like, yeah, the Bible's not word for word true. Stop taking it as a history book.
Biblical literalism has always blown my mind because,
Yeah.
okay, again, autism. I'm not very good with metaphors and stuff, but even as a little kid, I was operating under the assumption that this shit was a metaphor. So when I found out that people actually believe that, like, God exists, that heaven and hell exists, that, like, a burning bush spoke to a guy in a desert and then he parted a sea, I was like, how's that different from? It's like I was like, what? I'm being punished for believing in magic, but you're describing magic. That's what that is. And they were like, no,
Yeah,
it's
and
not.
that's entirely true. And so I can't speak for all Episcopalians, but the version of Christianity that I practice is that I assume there's a higher power. I assume it's more or less the God that's described in the Bible. I'm kind of on the fence about the miracles. I don't know. I'm like cool with that idea. that's fine.
For me, in terms of like the idea of God being super hardcore invested in what was going on Earth, like, if you want to believe God is real and like created us and whatever, like instigated the Big Bang or whatever, that's fine. But I find it a little weird when people are like, yeah, God was super involved in the lives of humans up until around the time that, like, photographs were invented.
Up until about 2,000 years ago,
Yeah.
he really gave a shit, and then
Like,
he just kind of fucked off, and we don't know where he went.
the idea that he would put, or they or she or whatever, right? Like that God would put, like, as if the fate of the balance of the universe rested on humans. It's like, we're not the center of the universe geographically, or I assume spiritually. Like, we why? Like, we know that there's got to be alien life out there. At this point, we know that it's like a statistical impossibility that there's not other life out there.
Right.
Why would it be us? We suck.
That's true. I think you would fall more into like what a lot of the founding fathers were, deists instead of Christian, which also, it fucking pisses me off when people use this America was founded on Christianity. No, it fucking wasn't. More than half of the founding fathers were not Christian. They were deists. What's
deism?
Deism is kind of a borderline agnostic view on Christianity, which takes, I can't remember where this term comes from, but I like the way it sounds, the clockmaker God, which is that God set all these pieces up, he wound up the thing, and he just
and then let it go.
He sat back and he let it go. And this is all some divine, plan, perhaps, but he's not interacting with us on a daily basis. And that's an interesting view to me, is the clockmaker God. I've always kind of tended more toward that than toward any biblical Christianity.
If I was gonna like subscribe to any idea of the Christian interpretation of God, it would be that.
Yeah, and so it's really funny that people say the founding fathers were Christians. Like, more than half of them were deists. They're not Christian. They were not Christians. You would kick them out of your church for not being Christians.
I just want to say one more thing on religion, and then we should move on.
We posted
holy shit!
episode.
I just realized we're talking about religion on a Santa Claus.
This is like a valid bonus episode to introduce the topic today.
Look at that! That happens by accident.
Religious discourse.
I was just gonna say, I struggle to even call myself like atheist, because I feel like that's such a loaded term these days. Because like, as soon as you're like, I'm atheist, like, people start making a bunch of assumptions about you, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like inviting people to be like, oh, but maybe you just haven't found God yet. Shut the fuck up. I did, and then I hated it.
I did. Everyone told me that he hated me, and I stopped.
Yeah, exactly. So, because it's like, what, like, okay, logical belief in what may or may not actually be factually true aside, why would I bat for a team that tells me that as long as I play for them, I'm going to go to hell in the end?
Yeah, for real. See that? Yeah, like, oh, just to finish, I'll let you finish your thing in a moment. But to finish what I was saying earlier, um, was that I tend to think of most of the stories as fables and metaphors, other than the general framework of Christ and the miracles and God and heaven ish, probably. Is and otherwise I'm like, it's all moral messaging and fables. You're just meant to learn to be a good person.
Yeah, exactly. But all I was going to say is that, like, if I had to give myself any sort of religical leaning, I think I've mentioned it probably a couple of times to you, but I would probably be Taoist.
Oh yeah, you have mentioned that.
Like, I the like, okay, even the what you said before, the idea of, like, if God exists, maybe he has a plan or whatever. I've never bought into the idea of some cosmic plan, because ultimately, what would be the purpose? Like, okay, you made all these pieces fall into place, and but you were already the ruler of the universe and the ultimate arbiter and creator of everything. So what did you need? What,
Yeah.
you don't have needs, so why make a plan? And so for me, the idea, like, what, okay, it Avengers Age of Ultron actually sort of helped me put this into perspective,
Mm-hmm.
with a line from Vision where he was like, humans somehow think that order and chaos are opposites, and that confused me for a while, because it's such a, like, on a surface level it's very baffling, right? But I did take time to think about it, and yeah, people think that if the universe exploded into existence by coincidence, that that is chaos, and it is antithetical to their idea that, like, but I want there to have been a plan, like there has to be meaning to my life. Just because it was accidental, what makes you think that there's no meaning? You
Yeah,
make meaning through living.
that's a good way to look at it. And I'm going to drop a disclaimer that if you, dear listener, do take the Bible to be infallible, I don't hate you or your beliefs. We can disagree on that unless you use that to justify hating other people. Then we've got a
I'll say I hate
problem.
you.
You'll
I'll
what?
say I hate you.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I don't. Well, look, it again, it all boils down to how you treat other people. If you really believe it's all literal, I don't really give a fuck. Fine, you're free to do that. You're weird, but sure. You can believe that. The problem I have is that 99.9% of the time, if someone believes everything that they read in the modern day Bible is literal, then they are treating people like shit. It's
Yeah, they
really
do
kind of
tend to
inescapable.
use that to create gatekeeping. Who's going to wind up who gets to be considered human in some cases, which is unsettling.
Yeah, it's fucked up. At the end of the day, my thing is morality should not be dictated based on what happens after you die. Who gives a shit? That's a completely different life. You are alive now.
Oh,
There
and
are
speaking
people.
of, I brought this up in the Discord. No, actually, you go. You finish. I don't want to interrupt
I
you.
was just going to say, there are people in front of you that you don't have to speculate on. You know for a fact with your own eyes and ears that they exist. And if you're treating them badly because of what you think might happen when you die, you're an asshole and you deserve to go to hell.
Yep. And I think I mentioned this in the Discord, but I wanted to say it here in case we are releasing this as a bonus episode.
I
That
will.
that it really amuses me when people say, "Well, the Bible, God's word, forbids homosexuality, when in fact, the phrase you are likely referring to in the Bible was actually talking about pedophilia up
Yep.
until about the 80s. It's
It's wild.
always been, it's just a manipulation. You've
I
been trained to think that that's an ancient thing, but it isn't. It's new and it's American.
I've said it before. I was like, do people not understand that? Like, first of all, the Bible is not a divine tome. It was written by human hands. I don't care what
Yes.
you say. It very clearly was written by human hands. But even then, like whether you believe that or not, you have to acknowledge it's been translated by it's translations have been translated for a fucking 1,000 years. It's not the same that it was, and it's been altered. That's why there's so many fucking versions of it. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
then it amazes me that it's also been altered specifically to make you hate someone that you shouldn't
exactly.
have. And
The
that
the
baffles me.
the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, like you said, it was about pedophilia, but then they were just like, no, we don't like gay people. Let's make it about gay people. And so
I'm gonna switch that don't sleep with boys line to don't sleep
don't
with men.
sleep with men. Yeah. So the it like it's it's always crazy to me whenever because a lot of the people who are Christians are right wing, and so whenever they are like, oh, I hate that people are making everything political. Your religion was literally made political. Shut the fuck up.
Yep. Yeah, religion has been weaponized for a long time in political
It
matters.
sure it sure has. Hey,
Speaking
let's
of religion,
all right, I'm gonna do the intro proper now.
speaking of things that have been weaponized for political reasons.
There's a war, didn't you know? Okay. Fucking